I uploaded the exact same YouTube video 5 different times, and YouTube reacted differently to almost every version. I genuinely did not expect the behavior to change this much from such small adjustments. Until now, I assumed that if a video was good enough, YouTube would eventually figure it out and start pushing it naturally. But after posting over 30 videos with almost no impressions, I'm starting to think the system works very differently for small creators. So instead of making another completely new upload and hoping for a different result again, I decided to run a much more controlled experiment. I wanted to see what would happen if I uploaded the exact same video multiple times while changing only one variable each time. The actual content underneath stayed exactly the same across every upload in this test. Same script, same editing, same pacing, and the same core idea every single time. The first upload used the exact packaging style I normally use on my channel right now, and the result was what I've unfortunately become very familiar with at this point: almost no impressions and barely any testing at all. So for the second upload, I changed only the title while keeping everything else identical underneath the surface. Same video, same thumbnail, but a completely different first impression from the outside. And weirdly, the behavior changed almost immediately compared to the first upload. The impressions started earlier, which instantly caught my attention. The testing window also lasted longer than usual for my channel at this size. And for the first time in a while, it actually felt like YouTube was trying to understand who the upload was for. That's when this experiment stopped feeling random and started feeling genuinely important to me. Because YouTube clearly wasn't reacting only to the content itself. It was reacting to how the content entered the system in the first place. And honestly, that changes how I think about growth on this platform completely. Then I uploaded the third version while keeping the stronger title from the second upload. But this time I changed the thumbnail completely while leaving the actual video untouched underneath. And somehow, the behavior shifted again almost immediately after the upload went live, which honestly made the entire experiment much more confusing than I expected. This version actually performed worse than the second upload despite using the stronger title combination, which meant the thumbnail alone had changed how YouTube reacted to the exact same video. At first, I thought maybe YouTube was simply detecting duplicate uploads and suppressing random versions automatically. But the behavior patterns didn't fully match that explanation, which made this much harder to understand properly. So instead of stopping there, I uploaded a fourth version using the stronger thumbnail and title combination from earlier in the test. But this time, I changed only the upload time completely. And once again, the behavior shifted even though the actual content underneath stayed exactly the same. That's the part that genuinely started messing with my understanding of how YouTube tests small channels. Because if the exact same video can behave differently depending on how it enters the system, then YouTube clearly is not judging content in a perfectly objective way. It's reacting to early audience signals before the deeper metrics even fully develop. And honestly, I think most small creators are focusing on the wrong things because of that. Most people think the hardest part is making better content, but I'm starting to think the harder problem is getting tested at all. Because right now, my biggest issue isn't retention, editing, or watch time yet. It's getting impressions in the first place, so YouTube actually has data to work with. Once the testing starts, then retention matters, watch time matters, and all the deeper performance metrics become important. But before that happens, the platform mostly seems to react to packaging and early audience response. That's why this experiment completely changed how I think about thumbnails and titles moving forward. They are not decorations around the content. They are entry points into the testing system itself. And if the entry point changes how YouTube behaves, then even small adjustments can create completely different outcomes, which honestly explains why some uploads suddenly move while others die almost instantly. The fifth upload became the most interesting part of the experiment because by this point I wasn't emotionally watching the views anymore. I was studying behavioral differences in the system itself. And that mindset shift honestly matters much more than I originally realized. Because instead of asking whether the video succeeded, I started asking how YouTube reacted differently each time I changed something small. That question turned out to be much more useful than obsessing over views after every upload goes live. Because once you start studying the behavior of the system itself, the platform starts looking much less random. This experiment didn't suddenly make my channel blow up overnight, and I'm definitely not pretending I've solved the algorithm completely. But it did prove something important that I genuinely cannot ignore anymore. The platform is reacting to much more than just the quality of the content underneath the video itself. And if that's true, then understanding the testing process becomes just as important as storytelling or editing. So now I'm approaching YouTube less like an artist uploading finished videos and more like someone running controlled experiments publicly online, changing one variable at a time and studying how the platform responds. Because if one small change can create a different reaction from the system, then stacking multiple strong decisions together might eventually create a real breakthrough. And honestly, this is the first time that feels genuinely possible to me. I still don't fully understand how the system works yet, but this experiment proved something important is happening underneath the surface. And now that I've seen it happen in real time, I can't stop thinking about it. So the next experiment I'm running is even more aggressive than this one because I want to find out how sensitive the system actually is. And honestly, I think that's where things could start getting really interesting.